Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Monday Market Report for the week ending January 5th of 2020. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Happy to be here on this fine Sunday evening after football and chips and dip and everything like that. But today, we're going to talk about some of the most notable modern coins of the 20th and 21st century to, make some strides at auction. Okay, all the various auction sites. Today, we have a couple coins from eBay that I want to go ahead and address from the last 7 days, in addition to all of the great collections items that sold this past week. Now, as you can see on screen, it says a new era for U.S. coins is approaching. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, yes, ma'am, that is going to be a case. We're seeing kind of like the pinnacle of various things happening. You know, we're coming up to the end of the National Park Series quarters. We're also going to be talking about a revolutionary change. Okay, revolutionary, maybe a little bit evolutionary change within the Silver Eagle program that you guys are going to want to know. Not specifically in this video, but I'll be talking about it in a future video pretty soon. I would say within the next maybe day or two from this video that you're going to see here today. But anyways, if this is your first time joining on this fine new year, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe. Feel free to share this video to your friends, family, whoever I guess would care about this sort of thing. It's all great stuff. If you're into coins, if you're into money, then this is the channel for you. And best of all, I want to thank you guys for joining in and taking a few moments out of your day to see what is happening in the world of news of coins, in the world of coin news. I don't know. I guess I wasn't mentally prepared for what I'm going to say in this video, but like I always do, we're going to preface it all off with a couple notable sales from eBay. Our favorite go-to, auction site that has been around for nearly 2 decades. Pretty crazy. But the first coin that we have here is going to be, a pretty good one. One that's over 100 years old. But again, the importance of these early Lincoln wheat cents could not be more just important in the vein of collecting this wonderful series. Usually Lincoln cent collecting is generally the first kind of go-to series for a lot of newer collectors because of how approachable it is, how deep and wide the date range is. It goes from 1909 all the way up to, yep, you guessed it, 2020, along with a bunch of different areas. In this particular case, this 1913S, which is a San Francisco minted coin, is one of the toughest coins to find. Any branch mint coin during the teens is really tough to find in mint state grades, which is really nice, as if it was freshly minted, and also full red. Right here we have an NGC graded mint state 65 full red example that's sold for a best offer of $2,375 December 29th of 2019. So it probably sold somewhere around $2,000, somewhere around there, which is a lot of money for a coin that looks like this. To a lot of people are like, you know what, it has its warts, it's got, nicks and stuff. But for the actual technical grade, this is pretty normal for this series because, you just can't find them with this kind of coloration. So I want to go ahead and throw this one out there. If you haven't noticed, okay, we hit it off with a relatively old coin. Like I had mentioned on my last Monday Market Report, where I was kind of dangling the carrot in front of a lot of you that it may have been the last final Monday Market Report. But instead, after all of the feedback that I've received from viewers like you, we are going to go ahead and continue on this tradition of doing the Monday Market Report every week, in addition to covering a lot more older coins. So like I had mentioned, we're going to be looking at coins all throughout the 20th century, okay, from 1900 all the way up to the current date. All right, so 20th and 21st century, it will be hugely represented in these reports from this day forward. So I'm glad to be able to talk about this 1913. So getting back into something that's a little bit more modern, a little bit more approachable, and possibly a little bit more discoverable is going to be this 1962 D Jefferson Nickel. Again, we're in this kind of decade, 50s, 60s, this 10-year period of coins where the quality wasn't that great. The strike wasn't fantastic, and the reason why that this coin right here sold for the amount of money it did was the fact that it had a nice strike. All right, so this one is a PCGS Mint State 65 full steps version. So it's got some pretty good steps. I would say it's pretty close to being 5 full steps as it is 6 full steps on the reverse on Monticello, and that's going to be that little set of stairs, by the way, right down the middle underneath the columns and the door right there. But this one right here is a top graded coin. Okay, it's a Pop 8, which means there's 8 coins graded at this level with full steps, with 0 finer. Okay, there are no coins finer than the 65 full steps. This one sold January 3rd for $3,251.78. Again, a really nice chase piece for discerning Jefferson Nickel collectors, okay, especially those registry set folks. So those are the 2 notable eBay sales. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into all of the great collections sale items. And we're going to jump in and start off with the 1982 Lincoln Cent. This is the memorial version, the memorial backed design. As you guys know, in 1982, okay, there was a paradigm shift. Okay, if I wanted to get kind of like, I don't know, throw out some weird wording that, you know, sometimes gets overused. But 1982, a huge shift in the production of Lincoln Cents. Okay, they went from, you know, producing these coins that were for the longest time predominantly a bronze composition, which was 98% copper and then a little 2% zinc mixed in there. So it was what we called a copper coin. All right, so in 1982 they began to change over and shift into producing copper coated zinc coins. All right, so you had this weird kind of transition year where you had not only zinc and copper coins produced, but there was also some variations in the die. Okay, you had small dates, you had large dates of each composition for each mint mark. Okay, Philadelphia and Denver. This one right here is a zinc composition, large date. Okay, and this is also a PCGS Mint State 68 Plus full red coin, and yeah, that grade is huge for a coin that traditionally had a lot of problems, especially the copper-coated zinc. All right, it was their first trial run. They went ahead with it, and for a lot of us that are familiar with the 1980s Lincoln Zincoids, is what I like to call it, or Zinkins is another popular term for these coins, is that the plating stinks. All right, the plating bubbles up, and these things look horrible. You know, they look like zombies out there. Zombie face, crater face. But anyways, this is a high grade. Okay, it's the top end of the curve, and because of that, it sold for $1,518.75. Yes, that is a lot of money, but again, this is the norm for coins that fall in that kind of like unicorn impossible range of grading. Okay, and that's always been kind of the popular thing within about the last 5 to 10 years. All right, so something to keep in mind. So we only had the one penny in this report, so we're going to go ahead and jump into a bevy of nickels. Okay, we're going to start off with this difficult, tough one that you see here. This is a 1951 S. Okay, probably one of the toughest dates and mint mark combinations to find with a really nice strike. Okay, this one is kind of like in that borderline range. But it is a PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps. So this one, much like that 62D that we talked about from eBay, this one has that decent strike on the reverse where it actually has a nice set of steps on Monticello. All right, this one right here sold for $6,018.75. That's a crazy amount of money for a coin that some of us probably can still find in nickel rolls or maybe searching through change. You just never know where these are going to, you know, kind of pop out. But finding one with that strong strike is going to be, yeah, it's a lottery odds type of coin for grading. That's for sure. So we have a few Lincoln or Jefferson nickels, specifically the silver war type. These are the 35% silver manganese alloys that were made from 42 to 45. This one right here is a 45D, so it's a Denver minted coin, highlighted by that giant mint mark on the reverse above the dome in Monticello. However, this one right here is an NGC, Mint State 68, with 5 full steps. So it gets a little bit of a, kudos on the steps by having at least 5. Okay, it didn't have quite enough to have that 6th step to designate it as a 6FS, or else it'd be really special. And take a look at the toning on this one. It's pretty nice, not too bad. This one right here sold for $2,812.50 by the time bidding was all done. All right, so that's a lot of money. So we do have another war nickel, and it's going to be a 43S. This one, however, is a former Sunset collection piece. Okay, that's an actual noted collection that is made up usually of toned coins, hence the name Sunset. But this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus with full steps. It is also QA certified and has that really nice toning. These coins throughout the war era from 42 to 45 are generally well struck. Okay, you would be hard pressed not to find a coin without full steps, but finding one that's like a Mint State 68 or a 67, 67 plus, those is what keeps these kind of rewarding at the end of the day, finding one, especially when you can hit those grades. But this one sold for $2,457. Pretty nice example there. All right, and it just goes to show you that you don't necessarily need that strong strike to have a very valuable coin. All right, case in point, we have another war nickel. In this case, okay, it's valuable for a different reason. And this one is the 1943/2 variety Philadelphia war nickel. Okay, this one is also known as the double die obverse FS 101 type. Okay, that's a categorization through the Cherry Picker's Guide for this variety. And this one is a simple PCGS Mint State 66 type with no full steps. It doesn't even have full steps. So that's why I'm saying sometimes it doesn't matter if you didn't find one with full steps. And it is also CAC certified. Okay, this is a coin that sold for $1,192.50. Now keep in mind, if you were to go out, say, to a coin show, coin shop, if you're shopping on eBay or wherever your favorite kind of area of shopping for coins are, generally these war nickels in high mint state grades can be had very affordably. I've seen them in that range of $5, okay, for some of the common dates like a 45p, all the way up to $20, $25. Okay, they are reasonable in the marketplace. Okay, here's where you're going to use your powers of cherry picking to find some of these very nice, exceptional struck coins, or perhaps the error that they completely forgot about. Okay, being the coin show host or the dealer, or a variety. Okay, in the case of this double die right here, if you find one like that in a nice high grade, you could seriously flip it and make tons of money. All right, so we got almost $1,200 of a sale from this one coin. And then finally, for nickels, okay, I have a really neat one here. All right, it's a 1937S Buffalo nickel. All right, for those of you that aren't aware of the Buffalo nickel series, okay, some of the most common dates, regardless of mint mark, occurs after 1930. So from 30 all the way up to 1938, more specifically 35, 36, 37, and 38 are all exceptionally common in all grades, going all the way up to into the high uber duber mint state 65, 66s. Okay, keep that in mind. Now this one right here is an exceptional coin. It's a mint state 67 plus through PCGS. It also has the backing of CAC, and this one sold for $6,905.25. And it would just lead me to believe that this one is indeed the top of the curve in terms of its grade. A really nice coin here, ladies and gentlemen. So coming up next, we actually have a few dimes, okay? And then we're going to skip all the way up to the Mercury Dime series. All right, there was nothing of note in Roosevelt, so those are kind of tough. Okay, it's not as widely collected as some of the other series, but the first one here, again, much like the 37S Buffalo, is a 42S Mercury Dime. Again, one of the more common dates in all grades, up through, say, Mint State 65, but finding some that are much higher than that is kind of difficult. Now this one right here is a former Sunset Collection piece. Okay, we've seen a few of those on the list. This one, however, is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus with full bands, and it is also CAC certified. This coin sold for $1,243.12. A pretty nice coin. If you guys are looking to invest in anything, Mercury Dimes, Walking Liberty half dollars, and probably Standing Liberty quarters have always been some of the most safest, most appealing, most popular coin series for U.S. coins in general. So, I mean, you know, they're beautiful, they're a great statement piece, and they're easy to liquidate for about what you paid for it, if not more. All right, so that's a really nice coin. Not to be outdone, though, we also have another Mercury Dime here on the list, and it's going to be this 1928S. Now we're talking a little bit tougher date. However, we're not talking about a coin that's in the teens. That's where it gets difficult. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67. I forgot to mention the 42S before it also had full split bands. However, the 28S doesn't have full bands at all. Okay, it's a tough decade, the 20s, to find Mercury Dimes with full split bands. That's why some of them reached 5 figures on the daily. But this one right here is a really nice, high-graded, very lustrous example that sold for $1,237.50. Pleasing example here. All right, so we're going to go and jump all the way on the opposite side of the spectrum, and we're going to talk about probably my favorite coin on the list for this week, for the mere fact that it is simply a coin that you could really, really open up a roll of quarters and find. Okay, I'm talking about the quote-unquote approachable pick of the week, and that's going to be this 2009 D Territorial Quarter. Okay, this one, I had to think about what this is, but it's the Washington, D.C. quarter. Okay, it's a one-shot for 2009. This one right here, again, it's a Denver. All right, it's not a Philadelphia where you generally see a lot of the varieties. But this one right here is a notable modern rarity. Okay, this one is a double die reverse and is also known as FS 801 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. This coin right here, if you closely observe the reverse, where the piano keys are and where it says Duke Ellington, you can see the doubling of ELL in Ellington rotated clockwise. And boy, it is dramatic. Okay, and that's why a lot of discerning collectors want this coin. Even I want one. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 65 example. So it's like, you know, middle of the road grading. This one sold for $1,126.12. Keep an eye out for this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a wanted coin. All right, huge reward to follow. All right, so coming up next, we have a few coins left on the list, and it's a 1952 D Washington Quarter. This one is a PCGS Mint State 65, okay, which is kind of like a general average grade for Mint State purposes. However, this one is another variety. It's the FS 501 large D mint mark variant. As you can see on this coin, it really does have a pretty big D on there. Yeah, to keep your mind out of the gutters. But this one has a large Denver mint mark on the reverse. If you looked at other 52Ds, they'll have a little bit smaller mint mark that's pretty naked eye visible to a lot of folks who are that have that keen eye for these type of things. But this one sold for $1,068.75. Again, a coin in mint state condition that can be had for between $5 and $10. Be sure you cherry pick these in BU condition, and you would have no problem making a nice return on your investment. All right. So we do have one more quarter. Okay. And then since we're going back deep, talking about other coins that fall earlier in the 20th century, is been brought to my attention. I've never talked about the key date Washington quarters of 1932. So we are going to talk about the 1932 S. Now keep in mind the Denver minted type of this date is also very rare and coveted. This one right here, the San Francisco edition, is a PCGS Mint State 65. Keep in mind, these have a very small mintage of 408,000 pieces respectively for the San Francisco minted coin. And even at this kind of middle grade type of look, this one sold for $1,930.50. Again, a very attainable coin. Without going too crazy, I mean, Mint State 67 examples of this coin I've seen hit close to 5 figures, if not more. But this one right here, to a lot of people, is suitable for a Washington typeset. All right, so especially for those individuals that just want to buy graded coins, this one right here is going to cost a few $1,000s, but it's a really nice, presentable coin at that. And then finally, we are going to end it off for the first week of the new year with a 1964 D Candy half dollar. This one, of course, has some pretty spectacular edge toning to it. I would venture to guess that this is probably an old album type coin. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. It is also a former Sunset Collection piece, the last one on the list. The toning indicates that it's really nice. This one sold for $2,590.75. Again, the super incredible high grades of these 64s in the Candy half dollar series is very popular. Kind of like, the combination of 90% silver and just the first year of this coin, you put them all together in a really nice high and tight package of a 67 plus, and you have a coin that's worth all the money in the world. So anyways, that pretty much wraps up the Monday market report for this week ending December 5th of 2020. I'm going to have to get used to saying 2020, like, perfect vision. Okay, that's what I am envisioning for coins this year and beyond. I guess we have 10 years to figure out the 20s. We're back in the roaring 20s of coins, of course. But again, keep an eye out for all of these significant changes that are going to be forthcoming in the coin market, from the U.S. Mint side, from the kind of like the auction side. You're going to see a lot of maybe perhaps new buying mentalities and perspectives change from this point forward. It's kind of hard to say. Are we going to go full digital or automated in terms of payment? Okay, there's been talk of the penny going away. Is there any talk of paper money going away? I don't know, but it could all possibly play a huge role in how the coin market performs and operates. So we are off to a great start for 2020. A lot of great coins that sold. I mean, there's no $10,000 coin this week, but with the Heritage Auctions Florida Fund Sale coming up between the 8th and 11th of this week, all right, you're going to see less action on Great Collections and eBay until that auction passes. So check that out on our website, ha.com. A lot of great stuff to view. I have my eye on a few pieces of currency myself, so let's see what happens. But in any event, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned on either Thursday or Friday for the Pocket Change Market Report Evaluator. Those are coins focused under $200 that people have discovered in their change and have subsequently flipped them for a really nice profit. Okay, that's a brand new market report that I launch every week, and I based off of the first one. Boy, yeah, we got a lot of good feedback, and I want to thank you guys for supporting me and actually telling me that is certainly a great idea to do. So I'm going to stop talking for now because I feel like I'm going at 100 words per minute or more. I don't know. To all you coinaholics out there, we are discovering together. Okay, so you guys have a great Monday. Don't work so hard and keep hunting.